Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing the update review of the Takumi Sen 8 from Adidas. Obviously the newer versions are out now, but I've obviously grabbed these last year on discount, so let's dive in and do my update review of the Takumi Sen 8. Okay, it's time to review my speed shoe. So yeah, I've done an initial fresh out the box run in terms of an opinion vlog. I'll tag that there, and I also did an initial review after about, I think it was meant to be after about 30k 50 miles, but I think it ended up being about 60k 100 miles in this shoe. I was hoping to get a few more miles done in this before I do this extra update review, but as I'm now kind of signed off from running it for a little period of time, I've been a bit of an Achilles twinge. I thought I'd give the chance to get this vlog done. So I've just passed the 200k mark, the 130 mile marks, so there's enough miles in it now from the first review to give you an update. So again, as always, I'll go through the main parts of the shoe and give a score. So this year I did a 5 shoe rotation. I've got a long run shoe, an easy recovery day shoe, a speed day shoe, a daily trainer, and kind of a race day kind of max effort shoe. So that's my 5 shoe rotation. Predominantly it's obviously a 4 shoe rotation with one of them is a race day shoe. So basically speed day, recovery, long run, and daily is my 4. I think I've done all the other 4 now. I think other than the race day shoe, obviously that's not got many miles in it yet. So the last but not least is the speed day shoe. Like I said, I was hoping to get a few more miles done in this, but I'm not running it at the minute. My marathon training, but I've obviously got a couple of tweaky injuries in my foot. The latest one being an Achilles twinge. I think it's a bit of a tendonitis. But anyway, let's get on with this review. As always, start with the outsole. So yeah, like I said before, go back and watch the reviews. That I'll give all the stats and data and all those. That was my initial review in terms of my initial run as well. So today's just kind of an overview, an update in terms of as my scores changed from that first review to this one after now doing over 100 miles, 200k in this shoe. So yeah, outsole, I loved it from the very get-go. Unbelievable grip from the Continental rubber. It works in all kind of conditions. And again, my preference is not a lot of it. So again, it's got strategic placement, and then this stuff is basically like sandpaper, very thin veneer of rubber itself. A bit more of a robust pink piece here in the kind of inside medial part of the forefoot. But yeah, it works in all conditions. Really good for running fast, gives you that real confidence in terms of being able to run quickly and have confidence that your feet are going to grip in any conditions on pretty much any surface. Granted, it's a road shoe. Don't be going off in terms of trails. But overall, really good grip. There is starting to be a few bits. I'll get some close-ups now. There's a few bits of kind of aesthetic wear and tear where it's kind of rubbing away at the exposed midsole, but again, that's all just aesthetics. It won't really affect the performance, and it's on the bottom of the shoe, so I don't really care what it looks like. So yeah, the initial score I gave after the initial review was 9.5 out of 10. I'm now going to stick to that, so 9.5. Still, after 200k, 130 miles, it does everything you want it to do. Gives you real confidence when you're running, and nothing really to fault about it. Moving on to the midsole, full length Light Strike Pro, 33mm in the heel, 6mm drop, giving it 27mm in the forefoot. It's also got 5 nylon rods, again visible through these kind of cutouts. You can see 3 there, and then you can see the 5th one right on this kind of, just under the little toe. But yeah, so really great midsole. Again, I've not really ventured out into loads and loads of really expensive shoes. This is probably one of the most expensive shoes I've ever bought, along with the Puma, my race day shoe. And yeah, it is pretty much the best shoe I've ever run in, especially for the speed day work. The Light Strike Pro is really responsive, really light. Again, look back on the other vlogs for the stats and facts, but it's a really light shoe. I'll move on to the upper in a second, but yeah, there's hardly any weight to it. But in terms of the midsole, really responsive, really propulsive. The nylon rods do help, especially when your legs start to fatigue at the end of maybe a 5k. It's definitely at the end of a 10k. They help just to keep that gait cycle going, help that form remain, and helps to propel that foot through the cycle a little bit quicker. So yeah, I really love the midsole again from the get-go. I think the first run I ever did in this, I got a 5k PB without actually really putting all that effort in. I'm going to try and get out again and do another 5k in these soon, because I think it will get me to another one soon. But midsole, I'll give it a 9.5 on the initial review. I'm going to stick to that again. Nothing's really changed. I find it hard to give anything a 10 out of 10. It's not perfect, obviously nothing is, but yeah, 9.5 is the highest I can kind of give it. But again, it's not really died either, so now 200k, 130 odd miles in, and it's not really feeling any less propulsive. Maybe there's a little bit of sparks gone, a little bit fresh, obviously box fresh, but I'm still happy with how it's performing now this far into its lifespan. So yeah, hopefully I've got a few more miles in it still, but obviously I'll update you as I go along. Upper, I mentioned it briefly. It's basically like a really thin engineered mesh. It's not the kind of fabric mesh that you sometimes get on the uppers nowadays. It's the cellular mesh. I think you can probably see it best from this angle here. So it's kind of a plasticky top. A lot of Adidas's uppers I like that. A lot of them use recycled materials. I'm not 100% sure this one does. But yeah, again, in parts it's see-through. But really lightweight, just enough. It's not massively comfortable, but again, as a speed day kind of, and so again, this is technically a race day shoe. I could have got the Adios 7 or 8 or 9. The Adios range is the kind of speed work element of the lineup. The Takumi is technically the race day version of that up until the Adios Pros came out. But obviously, I picked these up on a bargain for a speed day shoe. So yeah, really lightweight upper, really breathable. Not as comfortable as I say a mesh or woven upper, but again, I don't need it to be massively comfortable. I'm wearing it for a short period of time, running hard or close to max effort work. So it does exactly what I want it to do, be lightweight. Again, very little support, so if you need a high supporting shoe, again, there's nothing in it. The heel counter is non-existent. The tongue is wafer thin. So in terms of plushness, padding, etc., this isn't the shoe for that. Obviously, go and get yourself a different type of shoe, a daily trainer or a easy recovery day shoe like I did. But yeah, I give it a 8.5 on the initial review. Again, just because obviously there's a couple of minor drawbacks, more comfort would be beneficial, but again, that would counteract the performance. So yeah, I'm going to stick with 8.5 after 200k, 130 miles. Moving on to value. So again, I always go for RRP. This is a £170 shoe. So again, in terms of RRP, up there with the most expensive shoe I've ever bought, again, along with the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite, which is my race day shoe, which again I will review at some point soon, hopefully. I picked these up for a bargain on a Black Friday deal end of last year, so I got them for £90, so pretty much half price. Delighted with that price for these kind of type of shoes for 90 quid. They're still on sale now. Granted, the Takumi Sen 9 and the Takumi Sen 10 have both come out. These are kind of an older version, hence why I got them on a bit of a discount. But if you wanted to grab them, you're still available now. I think they're still available on Sturt Fitness for about 85 quid. Like I said, so I got them for 90, but again, even now you can still grab them. Limited sizes are granted because they're kind of coming to the end of their lifespan in terms of selling point, but still available if you wanted to grab them. In terms of value for a £170 shoe, is it value for money? I say yes, so I give it an 8 after the initial review. I'm probably going to stick with that in terms of 8 out of 10. It's not overpriced. It's a really good shoe for £170. If you were to pay, like say, RRP, then you would still be getting a really good shoe. You would still be happy with the performance and the workload you can get out of it. I got obviously a bargain out of it, but again, I always have to go off the retail price. So 8 out of 10 for value. It obviously, you technically can do a lot of things in it. It could become a very quick daily trainer. You could go easy in this. I think I know all the runners who've used this up until it's kind of starting to die in terms of the midsole starts to give a little bit less propulsion, and they convert back this into like a very nice, squishy yet propulsive easy day trainer. So you can still be moving quite quickly, but you're putting far less effort into it. So you can use it as a daily if you wanted to. Obviously, going to be an expensive daily, but obviously I use it as a speed day shoe. You can use it obviously for intervals like I do. You can use it for race days. You could use it for PB attempts. So it is fairly versatile. I wouldn't use it for very long. You probably could get away with it for I use it for 5 and 10k efforts, but you can probably get away with a half marathon depending on how comfortable you find it. The arch can be an issue for some people, that cut away in the arch in terms of your foot rocking in if you're an overpronator, so you've got to be careful with that. But other than that, yeah, 8 out of 10 for value. Pretty versatile, pretty good value for money in terms of 170 quid. Now I'll move on to durability, and yeah, last but not least, durability. So yeah, I always give a kind of durability prediction. Granted, it's a bit of a guesstimation, especially with this being my first Takumi Sen. But other people, in terms of what they've managed to get out of their shoes, in terms of long lasting or short lasting, again, at the minute, there's no massive signs of issues. Yes, there's a bit of, like I say, wear and tear in the outsole. Upper feels or looks and feels pristine. Midsole, again, hasn't lost all that much of its performance. So in terms of durability, I generally hope to try and get most of my shoes to 500 miles, 800k. I don't think this will be a million miles away. Like I said, we're 200k, 130 miles in now. So if I get another 200k, another 130 miles out of this, so talking like 260, 270, maybe up to 300 miles, up to maybe 450k, that'd be a pretty good return, especially for a high performance shoe. So I give it an 8. Sorry, I give it an 8 out of 10 for durability after the 100k initial review. I'm probably going to knock it up to about 8.5. I think it will get pretty close to that kind of figure, hopefully. And like I said, like I mentioned before, if it starts to lose its performance, I could probably demote it into a basically daily trainer or even an easy recovery day shoe. With its higher stack and its squish, you could probably get away with it and use it for other purposes once the performance deteriorates a little bit. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for durability. And now it's just time to wrap up with the total scores. So after the initial review, it got 43.5 out of 50, 85%. And now it's gone up to 44 out of 50. So just an extra half point on that durability. Everything else pretty much stayed constant. So my predictions and my scores from the initial review were pretty accurate. I'm getting pretty good at this. But yeah, 88% now for this shoe. So again, it's probably one of the highest scoring shoes again in all the reviews I've done so far. Granted, it's up against some budget shoes from last year when I did the budget shoe rotation. I'll tag that one there if you missed that one. So yeah, if you missed any of the reviews or any of the other vlogs that I've done in the series, click on the running shoe reviews playlist. All stuff's in there in terms of all running gear, but predominantly running shoe reviews from last year, this year, and before. Any new reviews will come onto that playlist as well. So yeah, keep it, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so keep up to date with any upcoming reviews. Hopefully this injury will pass pretty quick and I'll get back to marathon training for those that have been following along with that series. But as always, thank you for watching. Drop in the comments if you've run in the Takumi Sen range in any of the versions. What's your favourite speed day shoe if it's not one of these? Let me know, I'd be interested to see, and I'll see you all on the next one.